Hi guys. So I am going to share with y'all today an herbal blend that you can use to dress a candle with, specifically a Samhain candle. We're Deviant Witchery, Michael Blackthorn and I are going to do a video tomorrow about Halloween candle magic, or Samhain candle magic. So we thought it would be a great idea to create he created an oil blend to anoint a candle or dress a candle with, and you can I'll put a link in the description below, and something should pop up on one of these sides. I always forget which side it is, but so he did an oil blend, and I am going to do an herbal blend that you can also anoint your candle with. You know, after you anoint it with oil, you can kind of roll it around in this, or just sprinkle it around the candle itself. So I thought that would be really fun. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to create an herbal blend for this, and this is about connecting to spirit energies, about spirit communications. That's what this herbal blend is going to be good for. I do believe the oil blend that the Deviant Witch created also deals with connecting to spirits, spirit communication. So let's get started. So what I like, I have a few herbs here, of course, and some of the herbs I like to use are frankincense. I think frankincense is an amazing herb to use to connect to spirit. You know, it has there's a little bit of frankincense resin. I'm just going to drop this in my little mortar and pestle and sort of crush that on down in there. So to me, frankincense helps you connect to spirit. It can help you in meditation, which a lot of people, when they do connect to spirit, meditate in order to do that. It also offers protection and is very sacred. You know, it has been used in several cultures and thought of as a sacred resin to bring in sacred energies, to make a space sacred. So to me, that just adds a really nice bit of protection, and helps you draw in spirits that you want to communicate with. You know, spirits that don't have malicious intent. So I mean, nobody wants to deal with spirits like that. So hold on, I'll see if can you see that? Yeah, it's all nice and crumbly down there. So another herb I like to use, and I just dried these here recently, is rosemary. Rosemary has a lot of properties. One of the properties that I like personally for this is remembrance. So for Samhain, you know, a lot of people want to connect to spirits of their ancestors, spirits of those who passed on. And this will help, you know, it will bring in those memories of those people that you want to connect with, and that helps strengthen that connection. It also, again, has protection properties. And honestly, just about all these do. All these herbs have a little bit of protection added to them, at least 3. So I think that's really important, y'all. It's like safe sex. You know, practice safe sex and practice safe spirit communication. You know, there's it's, to me, you want to have a really safe environment and a good experience with spirit communication. You know, that way you build that confidence to continue your spirit communication work, to continue building your mediumship skills, and it's just always more pleasant. You know, I mean, granted, there is something to be said for having experiences with spirits that aren't the nicest ones to be around, you know. But I wouldn't go searching for that kind of experience necessarily, and I would hope that y'all wouldn't either. So another herb that I want to add to this herbal blend is myrrh resin. I like using myrrh and frankincense together. To me, they just really go together well. You know, myrrh it has a very peaceful energy. Again, you have the protection quality to it. And, oh, and I hope y'all know what myrrh looks like, but I will show you some myrrh. So myrrh is just like little bits of bark, kind of like that. I'll just add a little bit more, why not? So I like it. So, but yeah, myrrh. Anyway, so it's again another sacred herb. So you are preparing your space, not just for kind of have to bang on myrrh to really get it ground, but a lot like frankincense. Myrrh adds, that is a big old chunk, you know, clears the space, helps bring in those sacred space energies. You know, it is a very peaceful type of herb that really sort of sets the tone. Like I said, you want to, whenever you practice any kind of spirit communication, you want to have a pleasant experience. You want to bring in spirits that you are going to be able to interact with, and it's not going to freak you out. You know, if you become scared or nervous, that really hinders the spiritual communication. So I'm really having a grind on this. There's just one chunk that just is not cooperating. I have to grind it down a little bit more, but you see what we've got here so far. So that is myrrh. And again, it does have that, oh yeah, it has that quality as far as, like, you know, you have your sacred space, you have that sacred quality, you also have the protection and a peaceful environment. And y'all, this is mugwort. And most of y'all know mugwort is excellent for spirit, any kind of psychic work, spirit communication. And so I get a little heavy-handed with my mugwort. I won't even lie. I like to use quite a bit whenever I make an herbal blend, especially when it involves spirit communication. One thing, I just love the way it smells. It reminds me of being on my parents' farm. It sort of, to me, it sort of smells like fresh cut hay. It sort of has that consistency too. It's really fluffy no matter what you do. Whenever you're grinding it, and after it's dried, you know, if you grow your own, it works really well. And I just love it. I love using it. I love the smell. And it also, and it does have kind of that protection factor. Again, it dispels, you know, evil. I don't like using that word really, but it does. Like I said, it dispels negative energies. It dispels any kind of mischievous, lower vibration spirits. But it also really enhances your psychic connection. It enhances your psychic abilities. It helps you communicate. So that is really more of what, that energy is more of what I want. You know, and so whenever I'm adding it and I'm thinking about all the ways I've used it to help me really connect with spirits, and it helps, like I said, my psychic connection. It stimulates, like even while I'm grinding this, I can already kind of feel it. It stimulates the area, this area of the body. And so that's what I like to use it for, and that is also what I really, there's just that one piece of myrrh that will not freaking grind. I'm going to have to like later on place this on a really good surface and really bang on it to get it to grind up. Anyway, that's what Mugwort does for me, is enhances that psychic connection. And that's what you want whenever you're trying to connect. You know, you're lighting a candle to connect to spirit. You're lighting a candle to connect to ancestors, whatever you're using it for. If you're using this candle during a divination, any type of divination that you're going to do on Samhain, you know, it will strengthen that connection. And it's just all the things that we use and focus on during Samhain, you know. So I'm sorry I got distracted. My husband refilled our hummingbird feeder. I didn't realize until just now, because it's just hummingbirds are everywhere all over it. What's going on over there? So I use that in this herbal blend. And my last ingredient, this is going to be simple, y'all. I'm just kind of using a very simple process here. I'm trying to find a smaller chunk of this, but I wanted to use dragon's blood. Dragon's blood amplifies, you know, it amplifies, it adds a kind of boost to whatever blend you're using. Again, to me, it has strong ties. Ooh, kick the table, sorry. It has strong ties to spirit work, to any kind of really magical working. So, and it just, you know, it just helps. And it's another one of those, you know, you just kind of have to, or at least I do, bang on it until you get it in chunks and kind of stir it around. And I just used a small chunk. I don't use like large chunks of dragon's blood because I don't want to like blow anything up, you know, just make it so powerful it kind of gets ridiculous. So I am not as heavy-handed on the dragon's blood as I am on mugwort. So I think this is, which I will blend this up more later when I have a better surface and I'm not just holding it in my hand and stirring and grinding. It's kind of challenging to do that. But anyway, that is what I use, and those are the ingredients I use. Like I said, I started out with frankincense, add a little rosemary, and I probably will add more rosemary because I didn't add that much just then. Add some myrrh. And again, myrrh and frankincense to me make a really great combination. They work really well together, where, you know, frankincense, they both are sacred herbs. They both help create that sacred space and help bring in those really beautiful, you know, vibes and call to more pleasant spirits. You know, they set the tone for the working in this herbal blend. So rosemary again is about remembrance, especially whenever you're trying to connect to ancestral spirits, but really any kind of spirit connection. Not only will it help you connect, but you can it'll help you remember the experience. A lot of times when you work with spirits, sometimes you can forget what goes on, and if you're doing this by yourself, you want to remember that experience because it's such an intense experience, especially if spirit is speaking through you. So rosemary is in there for remembrance. Again, all of these have protection properties and protection qualities, which is really important whenever you are working with spirits, especially if you are not an expert at it, if you haven't done it a lot. If this is it's not necessarily just for newbies. To me, I like these things because I want to be protected, because as much as I have had spirit encounters and experience, I still don't want to be unprotected. Like I said, I think about it just like safe sex. You have safe sex because you don't want any negative causes, you know, from having sex. You know, you don't want a venereal disease, you don't want to get pregnant, whatever. Same thing here. You don't want to have a bad experience. You don't want to have an experience that will affect the way your mediumship skills develop. You know, if you have a negative experience, if something happens that freaks you out, it's not going to help you very much in your mediumship development. I mean, every experience is helpful. But when you're first starting out, or if you don't have as much experience, you don't want to build your mediumship skills on negative experiences alone, or you know, have something that's going to hinder you to further that process. So all of those have those attributes to them. They all help protect. And again, I use Mugwort. Love Mugwort. It is awesome for psychic skills, as far as helping you connect psychically, enhancing your psychic abilities, connecting to spirits. Again, another thing associated with Mugwort is getting rid of any kind of, you know, negative, low vibrating spirits that have malicious intent. So you still have that protection factor, even though whenever I'm using it and grinding it up, I'm concentrating more on the psychic effects of Mugwort than I am necessarily the protection aspects, because I feel like there's already quite a bit of protection aspects added to it. And Dragon's Blood, to give it a boost, to enhance it some, which should have a pretty interesting effect during, you know, when the veil is thinnest. So I think that it will really enhance and give that little oomph to your herbal blend. And Dragon's Blood also, you know, to me, binds things together and just enhances, you know, any kind of magic you're going to perform that night. So whether it be spirit communication or divination or what have you. So you can take this blend after you anoint your candle with an oil, whether you use your oil or the Deviant Witch's oil blend that I personally will use, because I think that they will make an interesting combination. After you anoint your candle and dress your candle with oil, you can take the herbs, and what I like to do is I'll hold it over like a slightly bigger bowl and just kind of sprinkle them on. I don't like to necessarily roll them out, you know, roll them in it per se, but I will just sort of sprinkle the herbs around the candle, you know, whatever, and kind of just tap it, shake it off a little bit, so any of the loose ones will fall back into my, you know, whatever container I have the herbal blend in. And then when I set up the candle, I'll put it on a plate of some sort so I can put the remainder of the herbal blend around the candle. This herbal blend also, you can charge it with amethyst, and I did a video earlier today about amethyst and using amethyst crystals, so I will link that down below, and something should pop up somewhere up here. And so you can watch that if you do not have a lot of experience with amethyst. But what I will do now that I've blended this together, again, like I said, I'll probably blend it together a little bit more. I think I'm going to add a little bit more rosemary because I didn't put a lot in there. And I'm going to charge it with amethyst, and then I'll put it in a container and you know, use it on Samhain. So it should be a lot of fun. I'm really excited about it. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope that this helped you and gave you a few ideas. Like I said, feel free to use this blend exactly as it is. Add to it if you want. Change it up, whatever you feel. But this is yours to use. So y'all have a wonderful day, And happy witching, witches. Bye.